Everyone, it's Docfire. Welcome to Docfire's Down and Dirty Reviews. If you're looking for unbiased reviews on autococker parts and markers, well, you've come to the right place. Because I have to buy this stuff out of my own pocket. Anyway, enjoy the show. And if you have a good time here, do me a favor. Hit that like and subscribe button. Have a good one. Hey everyone, it's Docfire, and it's time for another Docfire Down and Dirty Review. Today's review is going to be on the Nummech Macroline aluminum fittings that he just came out with. And I just got these in the mail today, and I want to take a quick look at them, and we're going to kind of install them and check them out on different things real quick. But let's kind of dig into what these are. If you guys want to buy these, they're approximately, or actually not approximately, they are $15.99, and so it's about $6 over the cost of one of these nickel-plated ones. They are fully rebuildable. He sells them in 3 different colors or anodizing. So you can buy them in raw. You can buy them in, I don't know if there's a price difference in raw. Let me see if there is or not. You buy them in raw. You can buy them in dust black. And you can buy them in gloss black. And so no, they're all the same price. They do take the number 10 O-ring that's replaceable in here, just like these guys, which is nice. And so if you clip an O-ring, you can replace it with the number 10, pretty common O-ring. And they have 2 styles of the 90 degrees and 1 style of the straight fittings. Sorry, I'm working with the garage open today, so you may hear some cars driving by. That's just pretty hot out here today. So let's zoom in here, and I'm going to put a little better background so you can see stuff a little easier. Some white paper here. There we go. All right, so on these 90s, let's pull these, on these 90s, he has 2 variants. This is the short variant, and the distance, they measure the distance here, the length of the stainless steel threaded part, and it's 0.35 inches, I think that's what it is, or something right around that. And if you need a longer version, it's 0.55 inches, or just slightly over half of an inch. And to be comparison on that, let's line these up. And so that's if the tube was lined up, like if the tube was in there, right? If I can get this all lined up so you can see it. This one right here, this stock, kind of the industry standard ones, would probably be the tall version. So if you need a taller version, order the 0.55 or the long one. And the long ones, he says on his website, long stems are required for use with the Nummech grip frames on the frame itself, and that's on the Airgun Designs TAC 1 bodies. And so he's actually made it for to kind of fit that, but it is essentially the same length as, or fairly close to this. I didn't order one. I didn't see a need for having a long one and stuff like that. But and so so that's kind of that. Put these guys off to the side. The straight ones are all aluminum. They're super lightweight. I mean, they are just a feather. And it's nice they have the little 1/4 inch. If I could show that in there, you can maybe be able to see it. It says 1/4 inch there. If I can flip it around. There, you get it right in the light. 1/4 inch. So it tells you what size hose. The hose slips in nice. It's a nice positive click when you get it in there, and then it actually comes off really nice. So it has a nice grip. So if I put it on here, it has a really nice grip. But to take it off, it's easy. I have noticed sometimes on these guys and some of the newer ones that are coming out that they're a little hard to get the whole hose off. They bite really tight, and I don't really dig that. It's kind of a pain in the butt. And on there, oops, get it pushed on there. There we go, nice and tight. And I get it off, it comes off rather easy. There's a little bit of lube in there, and it was lubed up on the inside, which is, you don't see that. These do not usually come with any lube. This obviously has some, feels like some Dow 33, probably the standard, not the light, in there, which is nice. So it comes pre-lubed for you, which is really handy. And so, like I said, the number 10 O-ring on the inside, these are rebuildable. The O-ring on the banjo bolt here, I'm not really sure. I'm assuming it's a number 10, but he doesn't say on his website. So, Andy, if you see this, comment below, would you please? So, some of the nice features about this, if you've had the CCM ones, and don't get me wrong, I'm not going to knock the CCM ones. CCM ones were essentially a kind of a three-piece, and this is the three-piece banjo bolt. They had a screw that screwed, so you would put the stainless steel piece on the CCM ones. You screw it with the Allen, and then you would slip the collar over, and then you put a final set screw on there, and you'd have to put some Loctite on that set screw if it, because it may come loose. And these are different. These are a full banjo bolt, so it's a Allen head banjo bolt, and it's a, I think it's, what size? It is a 9/64 Allen head. And then he uses a C-clip down here that clips this banjo bolt on there. So this is one unit, so it's not going to fall apart. You can easily take it apart, like if you wanted to re-anodize it for whatever reason, or whatever, but or service it if there's any leaking in there. For the most part, there shouldn't be. These are generally static O-rings in here, except when you're assembling it, or when you're turning this, but it's not a dynamic O-ring in the sense, or a constant dynamic O-ring. It's always, it's pretty much stays in place. Pretty nice. I do like that. So let's kind of look at some things that have. One of the things, the first thing I put it on is it had the CCM, and I'm going to back this out a little bit. This CCM reg I just got. And I wanted to see, because it had one of these fittings on here. It was screwed on. And that's what the CCMs usually look like, right? And this is a dust black one. And I'm going to put on one of these guys. And one thing I did notice, on this specific CCM, this spun on really easy. Okay. And we're going to test this one. We're going to actually install this one. I'm going to use this other one right here. I'm not following all of the directions. Oh, by the way, on the website where you buy it, at the bottom it shows some O-ring sizes. He has a manual that explains how to install it. And one of the things he recommends is using a thread sealant or a Loctite. This is a thread locker, and this is the Vibratite 111. And this is the purple. This is my primary go-to sealant. And I got to uncork it because it gets clogged every once in a while. It's what I normally use. I've had really good luck with it. You want to definitely shake it up prior to use. Get a good shake. And then we're going to put a couple drops on here. And I'm just going to spread it around a little bit. I don't want much. I don't need a whole bunch on here. Just make sure it's all the way around. And I'm going to just install it on this. Now see how it's hand tight, or it's loose. It's loose on this specific. I'm going to snug it down there, and we're going to see. Interesting. When I clamped it down, it locked the collar in place, so I can't turn this. So on this specific one, loosen it. So we'll just lock it down. We're going to see if it seals up. We're going to set that off to the side and let it dry for a few seconds. Usually you want to let that set for 24 hours. His instruction manual is pretty clear. And so one of my concerns was, where did I put the other one? Was maybe this taper wasn't wide enough. And every manufacturer out there, when they're making these regulators and parts, their tolerances are all over the place. So as a person that's making these banjo bolts, and this 1/8" taper, it's always, you're always going to find some that are loose. So I took a whole bunch of rags because of the rag stuff, and here's the bob along. Bob along is historically, these are the 360 rags, are really tight, right? They require, I mean, yeah, and that's snugged up right there. And this bob along has always been really, really a tight regular. So that one's pretty tight. Here's an Azoden rag. I'm gonna, although this doesn't take a 90, this one's right about there, and I hit friction, so works fine on that. So I think it could be just that one CP rag. Here's an old War Games rag that's been, you know, it's worn down a little bit. Let's see how it fits on that. And so that's almost perfect. Where I'm getting tension that about 3/4 of the way down. So it looks fine on that. I think it's really just that CP rag, which I've seen issues with that in the past. This is a new old stock Planet Eclipse, and it tensions, starts to get snug down right about that height. And then finally, we have this AK 2-liter. Let's see if this one, and actually I'm going to install it on this. Oh, almost perfect. So let's, I actually want it, this is what I bought it for, so let's install it on this while the other one's drying. Put a couple drops of this, just a little line around that. We're going to spin this guy on. This is what I really bought it for, was this rag. And then, yeah, nice. So you can see, I could probably go a little tighter on there if I wanted to bring it down a little bit further. But I think his goal is to try to close that gap as much as he can. So with that, you kind of have to play with tolerances a little bit. But I think that looks a lot better on the marker than it would with this big nickel-plated part that actually sticks out about to there. If that makes any sense. But so with that, here's a Bob Long torpedo, and these are the straight ones. I noticed the straight ones were pretty much the same. So his tolerances are really good, consistent between that. Fits fine there. And one of the other things I wanted to see was Inception Designs. They do things a little differently on their fitting here. Let's take this off these fittings. And Simon, if you're watching this, chime in. I think you still use an 1/8 inch by MPT thread in here. He uses a little different banjo bolt, but this one still screws in. Still screws in, and actually makes it look kind of cool. I like the looks of it. So this will probably go on the Maelstrom build because the shape of it. And then likewise, we were to see what it looked like on one of the new Inception design rigs. Now, the Inception design rigs, the new ones have these type of fittings. The old ones take the older style, but I think they're all the same thread. Yeah, that actually. So if you wanted to black something out, that looks really good. Has a really good look to it. So pretty nice all in all on that aspect. To reassemble all this stuff. But I'm not going to take these apart. There's really, I think, no need to take them apart to see if you know how they're all assembled. I'm not going to go into that depth on it. I think we've all looked at stuff. Usually to get off this little collar here, the locking collar, is I get a little flathead screwdriver on either side, and I just slowly just kind of turn the screwdriver, and then I turn this until it slides off, and then I get it picked down in there and pick that O-ring out. Being very careful not to break any of the little grabby fingers that are on that part. But with that, let's see. This has now been on for a few minutes. I have no idea. We'll find out. Now this is, like I said, it's a CP rag. Every rag manufacturer has a little different tolerances on their fittings. All right, let's see. Yep, sealed up fine. Okay, don't hear any. You don't hear any leaks there. And so let's do this. I want to loosen this a little bit, and I want to see if I can loosen it just enough to where I can have the thing swivel on me. Yeah, see, it's almost already locked. So I'm going to let that sit. Let me see if I gas it up, see what happens. Got a little bit of leak down there. But what I'm going to do is, I say these things are easy to get off. There it goes. Just had a little bite on it there. I'm going to snug this back down. I want to have this thing on here where it will spin. There we go, right about there. Actually, I'm going to take it off and reapply some Vibratite on it. You could use thread tape on here if you wanted to. I'm sure that would be fine. Put a little bit on there. We're just going to spin this on, and this time I'm not going to lock it all the way down. I want to put it on to where I can spin this guy. Still spin him around really easily. Or let it sit for a second. Yeah, there we go. Let that sit for a second. Let's see how this other one sealed up. That's why I like this Vibratite stuff. I can really go to town pretty quick on it. We're gonna see if this one leaks. No leaks there, and I can spin it fine. No leaks at all. And it seems to work pretty good. But let's see. So that one's good. I do like that a lot. And so that's been on there for a few minutes. I can spin it. Let's see if I get a leak on it. So screw it onto here first. So we're testing this out. Now, don't knock a product because it may not fit. That happens sometimes. You know, there's so many machining tolerances. Yeah, I'm getting no leak in there. Yep. And so you can see I can spin it here, and so it's fine. A little bit of that Vibratite in the 111 Vibratite thread sealant, thread locker, and it works. So with that, if you guys haven't hit that like and subscribe button wherever it is, and the bell to be notified on the next video, please do so. And what do I think about these? I like them. I'm going to buy more of them. I think they're worth the extra $6. They're almost twice the price, or close to twice the price of these guys, which usually work fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with these. But if you're doing a custom build or want your stuff to look a little bit nicer, this is a really nice alternative from Nummech Paintball. And that's it. Dr. Fire out.